I don't think I will be so popular in Taiwan, to be honest, if people know that I'm divorced. I want a kid, and I don't really mind that whether I'll be married again. Hi everyone, I'm Winnie, and today I would like to share my observation of the differences between relationships in the UK and in Taiwan. Timing of saying I love you. In Taiwan, it's quite interesting that we usually say I love you before being officially boyfriend and girlfriend. From my experience and my observation here, I love you is a lot more serious than in Taiwan. In Taiwan, that you say I really like you, I love you, we become boyfriend and girlfriend instead of the other way around. People here in the UK seem to have to start a relationship, and 6 months in potentially that is the timing of saying I love you. Being in the relationship in Taiwan, like you have to be kind of in a relationship to kiss each other, have intimacy, etc. I obviously date and be in relationship a lot more here in the UK, so I'm more used to ways here, but I understand that how it is in Taiwan. When I heard my friend say that she's been with her boyfriend for over 10 years and they never have sex, I was really surprised. I know like it's very different in Taiwan, but I was still very surprised. There's another thing that is quite interesting in Taiwan as well. I guess maybe for people who only have not really have that many dating experiences here in the UK, but in Taiwan, there's a first love forever kind of thing. The Taiwanese romantic ideal. And my parents, they're each other's first love, from what they said, what they claimed. And several of my friends, I know they are the couples are each other's first love. My brother, he had a relationship after his first love, but then later on he decided he's never gonna date again because he can't forget his first love, and he felt that it'll be unfair to all the other girls he's dating. So he's not been dating ever since. I would say that a lot of people here suggest that you have a few different relationships so you know what you want better and you understand that your dynamic with another person a bit better before you lock down. Even if you got married, I think people here's idea is once you don't get along, there's no reason to tie each other forever, right? And you can just find another better suit or just find way to make yourself happier. Doesn't even need to find another person. And I think that's where here also I myself kind of want that. Not that my fiancé want that, but before I met him, I kind of had the idea that I want a kid, and I don't really mind that whether I'll be married again. Not that I want to be in a good relationship. I don't really mind that if we are married or not. That's from a divorced woman perspective. Divorce is really hard. I don't really think that is necessary to go through again. But in Taiwan, that is kind of once you've been together for so long, the family will pressure you, are you getting married or not? And it's very, very different compared to what I'm seeing here. A few of my friends been engaged forever. They have kids, but they are not really married. Third one that I want to mention is also the way to see that relationship as well, the talking stage. In the UK, before you become officially dating, you kind of can still talk to other people. I never really sure when people say they are seeing someone, talking to someone, dating someone, what's the difference? But in Taiwan, it's kind of if you starting talking to this one person and you are quite sure that you quite like him or her, if you become a couple, then you become a couple. If you don't, then you stop and then you start seeing other people. I know that that's not a thing here, people are still talking to others. But when I first met my fiancé, I still kind of doing it in a Taiwanese way. I was talking to other people, but then once I met him, I'm sure that I quite like him. I didn't talk to other at all afterwards. Then I know that he was still talking to other girls, but I wasn't his girlfriend at the time. That was my position to say that I don't really want you to talk to another girl. Like, it's not like really my business, right? But it's just like those kind of, if you are a Taiwanese and you are dating a Westerner, might need to be a bit prepared to that. For Westerner might just be mindful that for these Asian girls, like we kind of want to know that what are we quite soon, and are you seeing another person? Are we serious? And I know the pacing is quite different between these two places, but yeah, we work out. He's my fiancé now. The next part that I want to talk about is actually still quite surprising for me, is the family stereotype. It's completely different to what I assumed before I moved here. In Taiwan, there's a stereotype that Western people, including British, might not value family as much, but it's completely opposite, I would say. Like, the family dynamic here is more, they are there to support you, and compared to, I would say, a lot of family in Taiwan, your family kind of weigh on you, like your family have a lot of expectation on you, while here I wouldn't say so. So in Taiwan, I know that my family, like my cousins, they didn't bring their other half around for family events until that almost a stage for talking about marriage. Myself, I was invited to family events quite early on, pretty much always 2-3 months into relationship, then I'll be invited, because here I think in the UK that people do so many like events with their family and holidays, for example, that they do want to see that how you getting along with the family. So it's actually quite different to our perspective, that the family actually want to include you in, and that do a lot more events with you being there. And one more thing that was really surprised me is about surname changing as well. Like, it seems like it was my grandparents' generation that my grandma did have my grandpa's surname. But here in the UK, I know a lot of people still have the idea of being Mr. and Mrs. together. And I didn't change my surname when I got married. Talked to that with my ex, and I thought he didn't really mind, but sounds like he did actually care about that. But I know a lot more people starting doing double barrel and stuff to make sure that they equal. But when I talk to my guys friends, I know that they really want their Mrs. with their surname. The final observation that I have is how people actually meet. I obviously that a lot of more people meet online these days. They met through apps. I believe it's the same with like my Taiwanese friends, but the friends that I actually see a lot of times, they are introduced by other friends, or they know each other from school. And in universities in Taiwan, that we often throw like freshman camps, so you got a chance to like talk to people from another major and another school, for example, as opportunities to meet a potential match. I know some of my friends are quite not really liking the idea of using app. I remember when I first started dating here in the UK, I didn't dare talk to my mom that I use apps. My family probably didn't really like the idea at all. But yeah, I found my fiancé and my other relationships through apps. Out of the apps that I use, I would say Tinder, like that is a lot for hookups, and I know Bumble supposed to be quite good, but from the sound of it, it's going downhill a little bit. Hinge was the one that we used to meet each other, and I do recommend Hinge, that you have to actually have a conversation, and the design is not just from your like physical appeal, but I talk about like different things that on there, kind of like a profile with more details and interests. One quite interesting thing that I found is that as a divorced woman, when I was on the dating market, I was still quite popular. So I was quite happy about that. I don't think I will be so popular in Taiwan, to be honest, if people know that I'm divorced. I saw a lot of my friends who were divorced here in the UK that still out and about and really popular on the market. So don't be scared if you have a failed relationship like I did. So that's my observation of dating and relationships comparison between Taiwan and the UK. I don't have a lot of dating experiences myself, so it might not be true. It's just an overall observation. And I think there's no better or worse in two different ways of dating and in relationships, and just a little bit different rule books. But it still depends on each individual players. It's just a general observation. People are all different. If you like today's video, please give me a big thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, and share my video, and hopefully I'll see you next time. Thank you for watching. Bye bye.